Going on, everybody? Welcome back to 49ers First Takes. Figured I'd get on here on a Friday night, do a little bit of a short stream, talk about the Seattle Seahawks coming up, and some of my concerns, my worries going into this game. But before I even talk about that, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's helped this channel grow. I recently passed 300,000 views on my channel, and I'm coming in and closing in on 1,700 subscribers as I try to make it to 2K. So I just wanted to say thanks a lot for everybody. It helps when you like things and when you subscribe to things. It helps the algorithms and helps YouTube find me. So for everybody that's done that and has been a part of this since I've been on line the last 2 years, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It was something that I thought about doing for a long time and then finally decided to do it. So everything that's happened has definitely made it worth it. So again, thanks a lot to everyone for the journey. And here's to even more to come as long as there's football, I'll be on here. So thanks again for everyone. So I figured I'd just get right into it here and talk about what I think is a huge test for us versus the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are dangerous because they're reeling. They're coming off of 2 straight losses. And, they still have Russell Wilson. So as long as they have Russell Wilson, they're dangerous. There's a lot of talk about how their defense is, not that great and all this and that. But we heard the same things going into the game with the Packers and how we could exploit them, and none of that happened. So don't listen to any of the media talk or the reporters talk about how horribly they're ranked in defense and how we should have an upper hand. You still got to go out and play games. You still got to go out there and execute. And the 49ers have this is a pressure-filled game. This is an important game. You have a chance to kind of put the Seahawks down for a bit. And, it's in your home crowd. You lost your home opener in heartbreaking fashion. So this is a game to rebound. It's going to be a tough test. We're reeling with the injuries once again. Big surprise, right? And we're going against a dangerous quarterback who is probably going to be a future Hall of Famer someday. So the Niners have a lot of work cut out for them, and the Niners have to play a really, really good game, and they have to get on it early. And that'll be my first topic. My first topic is Jimmy has to come out, and the Niners have to come out fast against the Seahawks. We've started slow in 3 straight games. The first game we did well after the fumbled snap, but in the last 2 games, we've started slow. And last week it really cost us. So the big thing is not coming out slow against Seattle. Have to be more dynamic in our offense. We have to take more chances, more shots, because this team, on paper, supposedly is a banged up defense. So the Niners have to jump on them quickly. We don't want to have what happened against the Green Bay Packers happen again, where we fall to a 17-0 hole and then have to climb our way back. That's just unacceptable. Jimmy has to really up his level of play. I'm putting it on him. Don't think for a minute that I'm not blaming others or I'm not going to be critical of others, but Jimmy is the quarterback of this team, and he has to be able to bring his level of play up. He did well to close out the game last week, but we need him to start fast. It's all great and dandy that you can, come back and throw a couple touchdowns and, get your team in, chance to win the game. But, if you start fast and you start quick and you come out, slinging it and, pushing the ball and trying to make, positive gains, you don't have to worry about coming back at the end. So Niners need to come out and be super aggressive early in this game. Stop being so predictable. Multiple your looks. Stop being. The Niners are so predictable the last couple of games. It's ridiculous. They, it seems like they run the same, 6 to 10 plays every game. So they need to come out and just push the envelope and put pressure on Seattle's defense. If Seattle's defense is struggling as everybody says that they are, then we need to put pressure on them. So come out hard, come out fast, hit it hard, hit it fast early in this game, get up on this team, and make Russell do all the work. Because what happened against the Packers can happen against the Seattle Seahawks. We have to come out and be aggressive. And if we do that, we give ourselves a better chance of winning. If we come out and we're sleepwalking like we did last week against Russell Wilson, we might have a problem. So this is definitely an important game for many reasons. A divisional game is always important, but this game's important on a number of fronts as far as getting the nasty taste out of our mouth that we had from last week. And, right now, the vibe is the Niners maybe aren't as good of a team as we thought they were early on in the offseason. And I'm definitely one of those people who thinks that. So a way to prove idiots like me wrong who come on here and talk is to start playing better. And if you start playing better, then I'll shut up. But until that happens, I'm going to have something to say. So just want to say what's up to the chat. Andrew, how are you doing? Bashar Z, what's up? How are you doing, man? Bob Money, counting the days till Jimmy's gone. I can't say that I disagree with you. I'm trying to be more politically correct, but hey, you can say whatever you want. But yeah, I know what you mean. 49er Miner, what's up, homie? I agree. We're way too predictable. It makes sense. It makes these games painful to watch. Yeah, that's on Kyle. That's even less on Jimmy. That's more on Kyle. The fact that we're so predictable and run the same 10 plays every game, at least to start. There's all this talk about Kyle being this offensive genius. I haven't seen it. I don't know if you guys have. I haven't seen it to start the season. We have to come out and we have to put pressure on the defense. Hey, what's up? So there's two of you're in my chat ×2. What's up, Bashar? Funny. Thanks. You're up in my view count. It would only be at 5, so appreciate it. Aaron, my rants crack me up. I'm glad I can provide some much needed entertainment, especially with stuff going crazy in my work life right now. At least I can get on here and talk about the Niners. If you guys don't know, I'm being relocated to another place, same job, but just another location, and I'm not extremely happy about it. So wish me luck, guys. And, I wouldn't say a prayer for me, but just, think about me because I'm not a happy camper in my work life right now. But as far as this goes, I'm good. Yeah, 49er Mind had said it right. Kyle hasn't looked like a genius. The longer and longer this goes, I've kind of started to, I can't say given up faith, but this is the 5th year of the Shanahan Lynch regime, and I'm kind of grown a little tired of Shanahan. Not saying that he's not a great coach or anything like that. It's just, the way things have been run the last 5 seasons, 4 and almost 5, other than 1 year, it hasn't really produced much. And I feel like Kyle and John don't have the pressure on them to succeed. I feel these long contracts that they have take away their sense of urgency, and that really bothers me. I feel like this team and this franchise still don't have a sense of urgency. They're full of excuses. Last year is one thing, but I'm getting tired. I'm getting to the point now that I was at the end of the Harbaugh era, where when he left, as much as I was upset that he was a great coach and he was leaving, people wear on you, and you didn't win the Super Bowl, either of those coaches. So to me, it's whatever. You go, you go. I look at a guy like Eric Bieniemy for Kansas City, and I start thinking in my mind, because other people have brought it up too, what would Eric Bieniemy look like with a Trey Lance as quarterback? It's definitely intriguing. Now, we have to say Eric Bieniemy also has Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback, so we always have to take that into consideration. But the fact of the matter is that team is dangerous. They score at will. He knows how to use the talents of a quarterback like him. And, if this Kyle Shanahan thing continues to go the way that it is, which is constantly banged up, uh, just not getting the job done more than anything, it's he gets to a point where, is Jed York going to make a move? I don't think York will do anything this offseason. Um, Kyle has definitely positioned John Lynch to be the scapegoat just by some of the moves he's made by not starting guys that Lynch has drafted. And, it could be a guy like D'Amico too. If this defense has a down year, which it's looking like it might, people need to let go of 2019. This isn't 2019. This is a different team. It's a different defense. And this is the 2021 49ers. And we really don't know still what they are. But that 2019 team was special. That pass rush was special. Even Jimmy playing, a lot better than he's playing right now was special. So this is a whole other ball of wax. This is a whole other entity, this team. So it's going to be definitely interesting to see in these next couple weeks what this team really is, because they have some tough games coming up. Hi, how are you doing? If Seattle uses the same defensive tactics like Green Bay, what should Shanahan do to get the running game? Move the ball by throwing it downfield. Don't let teams sit on you with 8 in the box. If the Niners show that they can pass the ball and move the ball other than 5 to 8 yards down the field, then maybe we'll actually get those safeties to move off the line, and people won't crash so hard on the run. The running game is struggling because teams aren't afraid of Jimmy to push the ball downfield. If the Niners are able to push the ball downfield, then the running game opens up. It's simple thing. My whole thing too is and I'm not saying this to get a Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo discussion going. I'm just saying with a guy like Jimmy or Trey, it stresses the defense a lot more. Jimmy doesn't really stress defenses, So yeah, DeWitt said it. Seattle will play 8 in the box. Yeah, until we can prove that we can punish people for playing like that, then they're going to continue to do it. So, what's up, Tommy Huxley? How you doing? Didn't Seattle give up the middle of the field to Burt Funyuns? What? Oh man. Now there is an injury report, and let's take a look at it here. I have it on. I'll put it up on screen here. It looks like Eric Armstead is probably going to be good to go. Nick Bosa, not injury related. I don't know if it was like a vet day or something. Looks like he's going to be good to go. Javon Kinlaw, questionable. George Kittle, I don't know if you guys heard, but he's dealing with that calf strain, and it's not 100% guarantee he's going to play. So, questionable. Elijah Mitchell's dealing with an AC joint sprain, which is painful. Running backs lead with their shoulders and heads, so that's definitely questionable. Of course, Josh Norman is doubtful with the chest contusion and the lung / ribs situation that he had last week, and K1 is out. So once again, the Niners are going to be missing some guys, and they're definitely going to be testing in the secondary. That's for sure. With Kittle possibly being out, that definitely changes a lot of things. So yeah, that definitely worries me a little bit with Kittle possibly not playing. Not that the Niners have really used him in the first couple of weeks, but still he's another threat that the defense doesn't have to worry about. So Bob Money said it best: if George Kittle doesn't play, we're going to have a long day. Yeah, we could have a long day all for other different reasons, but yeah, it would definitely make it even harder sledding. Knowing Seattle, we might make the defense look good. Man, I don't even know anymore about defensive. How to put this? Divisional games are always tough. You know what I mean? Because you know each other so much. So, I'm not really. I kind of always expect it to be a close, difficult game with Russell Wilson running around like a madman, making our defense look silly. And, the Niners haven't still figured out a way to stop that. So until that happens, quarterbacks like him are going to keep doing it. So, um, yeah, it's that would suck if we didn't have Kittle in this game. Tommy Huxley says, without Kittle, we don't have a run game. Yeah, Kittle is so integral in the blocking game. And let's hope he can fight through the pain and play. But like it's a long season. So who knows? I'll say this about Kittle. He puts a lot of work into his body in the offseason. And I mean, if you go to it, I have him on Instagram and he, it's constant, so much training and so much like odd stuff that you see that he does. Yet the man's always hurt. He might play through it, but regardless of what he does for his body, the guy is he's got that Gronk, the way he plays. He's got that Gronk thing where he's always nicked up. There's something's wrong with him. So, sometimes I wonder if like doing all that crazy stuff in the off season is even worth it, or if you should just rest your body, because it looks like no matter what he does, he's still injured all the time. So hopefully he can play Sunday. Hopefully we can, get him involved quickly, short passes, screens, whatever. And we can get this thing rolling against Seattle. Do I have any idea who the 3 active running backs will be for the game? I do not. I would assume Trey Sermon's going to play. If Elijah Mitchell can go, and then I don't know, Kerryon Johnson maybe. Not exactly positive, to tell you the truth. 49er Minus says he overtrains. Yeah, I think he does too. A lot of players, I feel like it's almost overkill the way he trains. You know what I mean? He's not a big guy, even with all the weightlifting he does. He's still pretty slender. You know what I mean? He doesn't put a lot of weight on. I think you overstress your joints and hurt yourself too much by overtraining. But it's his career, it's his life, so you can't really say anything. Jay Grizz says it's more about gameplay. I love the way he plays, but he definitely takes more hits than he needs. Yeah, sometimes you just go out of bounds, man, or go down. Him and Debo scare the hell out of me every time I watch them, because it's like they initiate contact more than the defense initiates it with them. And I feel like you have a shorter playing career. Jerry Rice wasn't the fastest guy, but Jerry really rarely took huge shots. I don't know how he was like slow, but he was like elusive. Even guys like T.O. and other guys, they just like, for some reason, like Debo and Kittle, man, it's just like they initiate and they yearn for contact. And I feel like that shortens your career, especially if you're a running back. I will say, Henry from the Titans, that's a whole different ball of wax. He looks for contact, but he's just built differently. You know what I mean? These guys aren't the biggest. Like Debo's pretty stocky and built, but like he initiates so much contact. It's kind of not surprising that he's nicked up. He's not nicked up right now, but I'm just saying in the past. And then of course Kittle, of course. Jerry trained pretty hard, but a lot of his training had to do with his wind. You know what I mean? His ability to not get tired. Running the hill. Everybody knows about the famous hill that Jerry would run every offseason. Jerry wasn't hitting a ton of weights and doing all these crazy things like Kittle does. But what Jerry did was constantly run and constantly get himself conditioned so that he was in better condition late in games where defensive backs and other players might be getting tired. Jerry was at his best late. He was the same player in the first quarter he was in the fourth quarter because of his conditioning. And he didn't initiate contact. With these guys, it's great, and it's a cool highlight to see a guy buck a defender and run him over. But, if it means you're going to be missing games, it's not worth it. So, I don't know. Hopefully Kittle can play. Hopefully he's part of this offense. Hopefully Jimmy can wake up. Hopefully Kyle can be this genius that we all think he is. because right now nobody looks really great. Coaching, players, defense, D'Amico, everybody needs to work hard and get this thing back on track. Now I know we're 2-1, but we played some questionable teams in the first 3 weeks and we barely escaped the first 2 games. And we should have did way better against Green Bay's defense because of how supposedly challenged they were, and we didn't show that against them until the end. Jag says all division games are crazy. They are hard to predict, regardless of each team's record. No turnovers, minimum penalties, and aggressive play calling. We should out. Yeah, I agree. 27-24 looks like a pretty accurate score. That might very well be it. You would hope, right, that we can get 28 points on the board, but Jimmy's definitely makes me question that, just but the way he's come out the last couple weeks. I find an interesting stat. I don't know if you guys saw this, but somebody put on how we struggled mightily against the Eagles defense, and Dallas put up a 40 burger on them. And it really makes you understand how limited Jimmy really is. When you see a team like Dallas with a guy like Dak be able to smack Philly, and we made Philly's defense look like they were the second coming of the defense that the Eagles had in the late 80s with Buddy Ryan, and then Dallas comes out and freaking smashes them. So what's the story? Is it Dallas have a really super awesome offense, or is the Niners offense limited with Jimmy? Kim Ferrison, we need better QB play, whether it's from Jimmy or Trey, period. Totally agree. Trey can't come in and snink it up and be like, oh, it's okay because it's Trey. No, Trey would have to come in and be electric. This offense needs a shot in the arm and a kick in the butt. People need to step up and play. So one of the other things that I think that's important is I think that Trey Lance needs to get more touches in this game. Not start, but I would like to see him used more. I think he stresses defenses. I brought this up with the last couple of streams I've had, but if you listen to the game broadcast, Chris Collinsworth talked about how the back end of the play had an open sideline, up the left side, and that if Trey decided to, fake a handoff or do some sort of jet sweep action, and he decided to take that ball and go up the left sideline, there was nobody there within like 40 yards. So Trey brings a different style and a different threat when he's on the field. Now, I don't want to use him like the guy from New Orleans, whose name is escaping me, of course, because I just don't think that's a long-term way of playing. I think that's a way to get yourself hurt. And Taysom Hill. So I want to see him throw the ball, but I don't want him to be overexposed. I still think that using him sporadically, more than 3 plays a game, though. I'd like to see him use about 10 to 15 plays. And I want to see him put the ball up. I want to see him throw the ball. Don't just use him as a running back. Use him as a passer, too. So I definitely want to see more of that for sure. Kyle's trying to do the Alex Smith treatment, Pat Mahomes treatment. Alex Smith, okay. But Jimmy isn't playing good enough to hold Trey off, in my opinion. Yeah? You agree? Alex actually played well in Kansas City. He didn't stretch defenses and scare them like Mahomes can do. But, yeah, you're definitely right. Your friends back in 96 used to call you Bashizi. That's awesome. In your opinion, Trey hasn't taken QB job 1 because he hasn't won over the locker room, or is he incapable of? It's a combination of a lot of things. I think he's inexperienced as far as he didn't take a ton of snaps. Remember they played 1 game in the 2020 season, and then they shut that whole thing down. He's also jumping 2 levels. He's jumping from a Division II school to an NFL team. And he's learning a really difficult offense with Kyle Shanahan. So It's a lot of things. I feel like once the mental part, uh, once he gets the mental part, his physical part will just take over. You know what I mean? Once he has to stop thinking. The Kyle Shanahan offense is a very difficult offense to deal with. I mean, just look at if you've ever heard Matt Ryan talk about it. You know, Matt Ryan, when he was healthy and younger, was a pretty prolific passer under Kyle Shanahan. So um, he actually took a while to kind of grasp that offense. So like I said, if they can grasp it, if Trey can grasp it, then his physical gifts will just take over. You know what I mean? So it's just a combination of a lot of things. But I definitely think in the future soon, um, hopefully some more this season, but definitely next season, we're definitely going to see who Trey Lance really is. And I really hope and pray that he is worth the number 3 pick and that he's as good as advertised, because that would be a scary offense to have to deal with from a defensive standpoint. If you guys think like, if a guy like Mostert, say he came back next year and he had his speed, and then you add Trey Lance, you know, doing stuff off of that, that would be an interesting, prolific offense. So we'll see. Seattle has a pretty interesting injury list themselves. I'll put it up on screen here. Out running back Rashad Perry, calf, tackle Brandon Shell, ankle, doubtful wide receiver Dwayne, what is it, Erskridge, concussion. Tyler Lockett, that's the interesting one, is questionable with his hip. So that would definitely be big for the Niners if a guy like Tyler Lockett didn't play, because then we would only have to really worry about DK, because those guys against the corners that we're putting out there should feast. It's going to be a tough defensive game for us. And oh man, I'm stressed already, and the game hasn't even started yet. I guess the question is, what pass rush are we going to get? Where are they? This pass rush has been non-existent the first 3 weeks, other than some great individual plays from Bosa. And they need to find a way to generate pass rush. I mean, they have, you heard that Lockett was a full go in practice. Well, then it looks like he's playing on Sunday. But the Niners need to figure out a way to get pass rush. And they have the horses, you would think, right? D Ford, Nick Bosa. The only one that's really different is Javon Kinlaw. That whole real defensive line is pretty much the same guys. So they definitely need to get some things going pass rush wise. And then they got to figure out a way to deal with that rabbit of a quarterback. The Niners just, for some reason, they just cannot figure out a way to stop running quarterbacks. I mean, they just, doesn't matter who the defense coordinator is or who's on the field. It could be the starters. It could be guys, backups. They're just schematically not able to, because of that wide 9 or just the way they're coached or whatever. So pass rush, where are you at? Time to wake up, time to eat, time to get after Russell. Give those defensive backs who are struggling a chance to make plays on the ball if there's pressure. And because if not, Seattle's passing game is going to eat us alive. I don't think you realize how bad of a position we could fall into this game if Seattle comes out really, really aggressive. We could be down quickly. So, Pinor says Trey Lance really walked into a trap more than I think about it. Had no idea Kyle was going to act like a jackass after acquiring him 3rd overall. I really thought Trey had the luck. Yeah. There's definitely something weird brewing with the fact that he has all these players that he picked early on in the draft, and none of them, they're either inactive or they're just not playing. A lot of people think there's a rift between John and Kyle. I don't necessarily know if that is, but this is definitely an interesting year. I feel like the pressure's on. Guys got to step up. Everybody's got to step up. Somebody needs to pay the price if we have another bad year. That's all I got to say. There's definitely enough talent on this team. I never thought we were going to be a Super Bowl contender. I always thought more of a wild card team, win a playoff game type thing. win maybe 11 games. I had a thought early on that in the offseason that we might be a 3-loss team and that we would go on, a huge tear this year. But the more and more I look at this team realistically, I just don't see that. I think that Alex Mack and Brunskill need to step it up more. We have to be able to stop Carson, or it's going to be The Niners offensive line got whooped in the last game for sure. Alex Mack didn't look good. It's sad, we still have Brunskill starting. That was supposed to be a position of strength this year, the guard position, with Aaron Banks being this, massive earth-moving human being, and he's inactive. He's not even playing. So Alex Mack, I know, and he's an older gentleman. He's played very well in this league. But yeah, it was interesting to see him struggle so much against the supposed inferior defensive line of the Green Bay Packers. So the Niners have a lot of work to do in this game, guys. This is going to be a tough victory, or a tough game, and a tough victory to get. This could very well be a very, very bad game for us if Seattle comes out and just starts slinging this thing. Because if we're not getting any pressure and our corners can't do anything, look the hell out. The only way we can counter that is by being aggressive on offense, running the ball efficiently, gagging clock, and scoring when we have the ball. If we can do that, we have a chance to beat them. If we play and come out like we did the previous game, we're done. It's not gonna happen. So yeah, I was definitely hyped for Aaron Banks myself too. I thought he was like the second coming of Larry Allen or something, and he's nothing like that. So someone needs to pay the price. I'm just being brutally honest. Yeah. If this season goes down the toilet, yeah, someone's going to have to fall on the sword for sure. Yeah, we need to play better. You have no idea. Yeah. Offensive line sucked in the last game. Bad. I went down the rabbit hole and I realized that you don't have to go down too far to realize these are business moves being made right now. And business can be extra suspect. You are right, Raymond. In the end, it is business. Yep. Score when we have the ball and 4th and inches on the 50. Go for it. Exactly. Stop being so afraid. I don't understand why Kyle coaches like a wuss, like so afraid. Jimmy could have snuck it. Jimmy's like the greatest quarterback when it comes to sneaking on 4th and inches that I've ever seen. You mean to tell me he couldn't get an inch? I don't know, man. Kyle Shanahan, consider putting extra offensive linemen to get push and short yardage plays more on Banks. Yeah. Banks, from a lot of people are saying, was actually the worst of the offensive linemen from Notre Dame that came out of the draft. So a lot of people were questioning why he was picked by the 49ers, because the Niners run a zone scheme running game, which means that offensive linemen have to be quick, light, and agile, and he's none of those things. I had Larry Kruger on my channel, and he said that Aaron Banks is slow-footed. The Kyle Shanahan offense, you can't have a slow-footed offensive guard. That's the whole point of the offense. You have to have guys. Remember, for all you old guys that are that know the 49ers, especially Bashar, Guy McIntyre was an undersized offensive guard that the 49ers had, but he was great in the run game because he could move. I'm not saying we have to have a guy as small as Guy McIntyre from the old days, but yeah, it definitely sucks when you pick a guy that high and he doesn't even contribute. Ambry Thomas, the same thing. I mean, that's bad. Like, we need production out of all these guys. We have serious depth issues. So yeah, to have guys not even be able to contribute or not even suiting up is just ridiculous. You met Guy McIntyre when you were in high school? Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Guy freaking McIntyre. All you old 49er fans, man, or young 49er fans, he was an awesome guard. He was like super undersized, but in the running game, he was something special, you know? Guys that could move and get a guy like Roger Craig running behind them. It was good times back in the day. Doesn't seem like he's a fit in the zone scheme. No, like he's everything opposite of zone scheme. He's big and slow footed. So I don't know whose decision it was. We could have had Asante Samuel Jr., I think a lot of people were saying in that pick. So yeah, Niners front office definitely with a lot of questionable moves. You know, they have all these hits in the late rounds, and then their early round picks are just mind boggling. That's why I say maybe we should take a page out of the Rams book and start trading away some of these higher round picks and go after proven talent. Because it's proven that some of our talent evaluators have no idea what the hell they're doing in the early rounds. So it's worth a shot. You met Harris Barton too. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I've actually messaged him on Twitter to get him on my show, but he didn't respond. It was a 49ers charity basketball game. None of the famous players showed up, though. Oh, that sucks. How lame is that? Ooh, all I got to say is, guys, like, because I'm not going to be on too much longer because it's, you know, a little late for me over here, getting close to going to bed. But we just need a complete game from the offense and the defense. This has to be a complete game performance. Defense has to step up. Pass rush needs to wake up. Corners, I don't care who you are, be competitive, please. And then the offense, be aggressive. Don't come out sleepwalking. Don't come out uh like, oh, don't worry about it. We'll get this later type of. That's what it felt like the game against the Packers. Just lackadaisical, like a laissez-faire approach. I just think that if you do that against great teams, you're going to get whitewashed, man. We got smacked early. Yeah, we came back, but that game could have got away from us real fast last week. So I credit the defense for as bad as they played to keep us in that game to allow the offense to come back, but we can't continue to play like that. Come out aggressive on both sides of the ball. Um, Hopefully Elijah Mitchell can play. I feel like if Elijah Mitchell can play in this game, there's no word on if he's out. I think he's questionable. But if him and Trey Sermon can get in this game and play together, I think the Niners have a shot of doing well in the run game. And if they do well in the run game, I think Jimmy can eat against this defense. Jimmy's got to play better, man. The onus is on Jimmy. And you know, it's not just Jimmy, but the onus is on Jimmy to bring up your level of play a lot more, because we know we have a chance to salvage this season and keep doing well. If he can play better and the run game can somehow find its way with whoever we're running the ball with, and the pass rush needs to wake up. They need to get pressure on the quarterback, you know, affect throws, because a guy like Russell Wilson, if you let him stand back there, he will carve you up. So, guys, it's been great. Not too much more to talk about other than, I guess, a final score prediction. So if I had to give a final score prediction, I would say the Niners win 31-27. We hold off a late Seattle surge. We start fast, and then Seattle comes back, but we stop them at the end. But yeah, hopefully we can we can come out of the gates quick and fire on all cylinders, and pass rush can come alive, help out the defensive backs. Jimmy, come out quick, man. Come on, man. Time to step up. I had a lot more faith in Jimmy in the first two games, but I really soured on him the last game. And this is on him. He's the quarterback of this team. He needs to up his level of play. And players around him need to do their part too. So team game, everybody needs to step up. Kyle Shanahan, call a better game, please. D'Amico Ryans, get your head out of your rear end and play and call some good defense. Stop being so damn predictable. It's going to be interesting, guys. 49ers. Sorry. Where are you? I don't blame the sacks on the O-line. I noticed that too. Like, he was hitching a bunch. My brother was even saying that he was watching the game with me. Remember, Steve Young says that happy feet are caused by a person not reading the defense well, that they have an issue reading the defense. So, when you guys think about, when you see Jimmy hitching and his throws are erratic or whatever, he seems like he's holding the ball. A lot of that has to do with how you see the field. And when you don't see the field well, you hold on to the ball too long. So kind of disappointing to be in the league that many years and still having issues with those kind of things. But that's the state of what we are. That's who we have at quarterback. And so we have to make the best of it. Hopefully Jimmy can come out and play better, and we can shut down this narrative at least for a week. Yeah, it's not always on Jimmy, but Jimmy needs to bring his level of play up for sure. His level of he's played horrendous the last two games. The same offense, the same defense that 49ers, how do I say this? The Eagles offered almost zero resistance to the Dallas Cowboys, and we could barely score 17 points on them. So that's all I got to say. Everybody needs to step up and play better, and if we do, we'll have a chance to win. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Sorry, Luke Luna, that you left. Sorry. But yeah, that's going to do it for me, guys. I'll try to get on Sunday night because I don't have to work Monday, and we'll discuss the game. If not, right after, it'll probably be a couple hours after, because it finishes late for me, and sometimes I like to listen to the post game. But yeah, this is an important game for the 49ers. We definitely need to come out strong and put the boots to the Seattle team. Their defense is gettable, so no excuses that we can't move the ball and score points. Got to be aggressive, got to come out hungry. And then defensively, we just pass rush needs to come alive. And if we do that, we'll be fine. Everybody take care. Everybody get along. Remember, we're all 49er fans. And until then, everybody take care, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you on the flip side. Bye, guys.